Welcome everybody on this call. It's so great to be with you here. I'll give you a brief story about myself and talk a little bit about mindfulness and how it can really help your life in times of stress and just overall in terms of helping yourself feel better and be more focused and let go of stress, right? We're going through a very stressful time right now as we go through this entire change in our lifestyle with this pandemic. We hope that it's going to go away pretty soon here. And in the meantime, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to focus on our well-being, right? If we focus on our own well-being and our own peace of mind, and we can do the things that we can control to help relieve stress, help relieve anxiety, is going to help us get through this moment in time. But at the same token, we can talk about how it can improve your life in the workplace, improve your life within relationships. And that's really the idea of mindfulness. It can help you increase focus. It can help you increase productivity. It can help you increase performance at work, in your relationships. So we'll get into some mindfulness talks and to what that means and what that looks like. So again, thank you all for joining, and Anastasia, thank you for this opportunity. It's great working with Healing Hands. Your live events are great. Your live corporate events are great with the massage company and the people that you bring in with the Zumba and the Tai Chi and the yoga. It's great. So it's all part of wellness. It's all part of taking care of our bodies. So it's a beautiful thing, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. So without any further ado, let's get into what mindfulness means and what that looks like, and I'll tell you how it's impacted my life. So and just to give you some reference here before we get started completely, there's a comment section in the top right corner. There's a little bubble with 3 lines. If you click that, you can actually chat and type in any comments or questions you have. So at the end of the 30-minute session, I'll answer some questions for you and see if I can help direct you further through this mindfulness talk, as well as we're going to do a 3 to 4 minute guided meditation at the end of this talk too. So we'll actually go through a couple different meditation techniques, and we'll also go through an actual guided meditation, which will be a lot of fun, and it will help soothe and relax you as you move forward in your day. So also, I think everyone is muted. Just make sure that you don't unmute yourself by accident, because we want to stay focused here on this call. So okay, let's get into it. Very briefly, I wanted to share my story. I am now a wellness practitioner. I teach mindfulness and guided meditation. I've been doing it now for over 2 years professionally, but I've been studying and working on mindfulness over the last 9 years. I've been meditating almost every day. I've been reading books about mindfulness and meditation, as well as I've done a 120-hour meditation and mindfulness course in India, which I can share some of the details on that a little bit later. But I'm well qualified to discuss mindfulness and how it can really help improve your life and help you get through some tough times, as well as help you really grow your business, your relationships, and how it can help you. So, all right, so let's get into it. Mindfulness. What is mindfulness? And I'd love to see in the comments too how many of you have meditated before. So maybe just mark yes in the comments if you get a chance. I'd love to just see how many of you have actually meditated before. So just drop a comment in there. See if you've done meditation before. Just put a little yes in there, and that'd be great. So mindfulness, it's all about how to become more aware, right? How can we sharpen our awareness and not let our thoughts and our emotions kind of overcome us, right? And lead to stress and lead to anxiety or lead to indecision, right? Because there's so many thoughts going on in our mind and there's so many emotions running sometimes. It's a way to kind of take a step back and to let go of all those thoughts and emotions, and we're no longer being controlled by our thoughts or emotions. So, it's really important to recognize that we can observe our emotions and we can become aware of our thoughts. And by doing so, we no longer let our thoughts and emotions control how we're acting, right? We're going to have much more emotional control and a higher emotional IQ through meditation and mindfulness. And, that's one of the first techniques that I'll share with you in terms of meditating is called the observation meditation, right? And basically, one, you're observing and just becoming aware. You're sharpening your awareness, right? So as thoughts come by, you're just observing, right? And two, you're practicing non-reaction, okay? Non-reaction. So one, you're observing and you're becoming aware, and then as those thoughts come in, you're not reacting to those emotions, right? And now you're building your awareness muscle, you're building your non-reaction muscle. In Zen or in mindfulness, they'll call it equanimity, where it's basically neutrality. You're no longer letting your emotions get in the way of your thoughts, right? And you're no longer letting your emotions control you. So, again, real quick, my story is interesting. I was in real estate investing and sales for 10 years, 9 to 10 years. And throughout the middle of that time, I was very stressed. I had a high pressure job. I was managing a good team of eight people, 9 people. I was on the road public speaking. I was just doing a lot, right? And I was in a commission job, so I was always pressured to perform well and to have, a high salary, high commissions, always chasing the next sale. And the job was great. I learned so much in the business, but I just wasn't ready to handle all that pressure, right? And that led to a situation where I was getting anxiety, and the anxiety was overwhelming. It was like this underlying overwhelm that I just couldn't get rid of. And it finally led to having a anxiety attack in front of a group of investors while I was speaking on stage. And it was a scary moment, but that led to the changes in my life where I started dedicating my life to meditation. I started dedicating my life to mindfulness. I started dedicating my life to studying spirituality. And I can tell you, my life completely changed, completely changed. I started meditating every day, and I started focusing on myself and my self-love and my self-care and meditation, and it completely changed everything. As I simplified, I no longer got stressed. Day by day, each day got better. So meditation has completely changed my life. It has changed my life in such a positive way that I am a living example of how it's helped. Now, I didn't quit real estate after that experience. I kept doing real estate for 4 or 5 years. But what I did was I simplified my life, and as I had less stress, I was becoming more productive. And my last 3 years working in real estate and investing in sales, my income doubled. And it wasn't because I was working harder, it was because I was more at peace with myself, and I was more focused, and I was working smarter. So mindfulness will absolutely increase productivity, it will increase performance, and it will lower stress, right? So that's just a little bit about my story. Then over the last 4 years, I saved up some money, I did some traveling, I studied more, I went deeper into mindfulness, into meditation, and I started doing these wellness talks and mindfulness talks. And it's been so great to connect with Anastasia. I've been with Healing Hands and Anastasia now for I think almost a year or maybe longer, and it's been great, working with her and her clients and helping companies have less stress and more peace of mind. So, okay, the intro is over here, but let's get into some meditation techniques. I already talked about the observation and the awareness meditation, right? And that's a simple one where rule one is you're going to observe, just observe, right? Part two, you do not react, non-reaction, okay? And the way that we do that at first is we sit down and we just breathe and we focus on our breath. So you take a deep breath in and out. Try that at home right now. Everyone, sit down, kind of keep your back straight, be loose, but also be firm, and just take a deep breath and out. Just feels so good to do that, to take a conscious, deep breath, right? And as you get into a simple meditation, what you can always anchor back towards is your breath. You can always anchor back towards your breath, and that is a way to practice observation. Can you feel the air flowing in through your nose and out through your nose, or in through your nose and out through your mouth? And just observe that, right? And as you observe that, you can start practicing observation. You can start practicing awareness. Awareness is a muscle, right? And look, there's no wrong way to meditate. There's no black belt here for meditating. There's no levels of meditation. But as you do meditation more, you're going to be sharpening your awareness. And what does that mean for everyday life? As you sharpen that awareness, you now are no longer going to react to your emotions and make a situation more difficult, right? You can now look at things with a 360-foot, panoramic view of what's going on, and you can become detached. You can become detached from whatever's going on in your life, right? You can accept whatever's going on in your life that you can't control, and then you can focus on what you can control. And right now is a perfect example of that, right? We cannot control what's going on in this world right now with coronavirus, right? But what we can control is our own internal thoughts. We can control the foods that we put into our body. We can control helping loved ones, talking to loved ones. We can focus on our creativity at work as we all work from home here, right? But you can't do all those things unless you separate what you can control from what you can't control, right? So meditation is a practice to help build that clarity, to help build that acceptance, to help build that detachment. It's funny, I read something the other day where people stress more about uncertainty than even bad news. Think about that. I'll say it again. People stress more about uncertainty than they do about bad news. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Because, we're so afraid of the unknown, and that's natural. That's a natural fear, is fear of the unknown, right? Fear of what's going to happen in the future, especially in times like these, right? So the more that we can center ourselves, the more that we can take a deep breath and relax and say to ourselves, hey, this too shall pass. This is temporary. The more likely we are going to have less stress, and we can focus on the things that we'd like to focus on, right? And, by the way, too, when, stress levels are high, your cortisol levels will rise and your immune system lowers, right? So, stress leads to a lower immune system. So by meditating, by practicing awareness, by practicing acceptance, you're actually going to build your immune system, and you'll be able to be healthier mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So that's the idea of meditation. It's a practice to sharpen your awareness and to observe and to separate what you can control from what you can't control, right? So again, it's a practice. I couldn't recommend meditation enough, and you can start small. You can do 2-3 minutes a day, and there's many different meditation techniques we can get into. The first one that is the most simplest, again, is just the observation meditation where you focus on your breath. And again, everyone just take a deep breath. And see if you can just focus on the air flowing in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And that stillness is such a beautiful thing. That stillness is rejuvenating. That stillness is respite from the crazy things that are going on in our mind or the crazy events that are happening around us, right? We can remain centered, we can remain calm, we can remain balanced during anything that's happening around us, right? Circumstances are temporary, right? This too shall pass. And you can remind yourself that. And, as you practice more and more meditation, you can also anchor yourself to different thoughts or affirmations within the meditation. And this is like the next level or the next step of meditation. Again, there's no levels here. This is just a different component to meditation, right? And once you've practiced awareness / observation to non-reaction or neutrality or equanimity, you've now created stillness. Okay, so think of steps 1 and 2 as cultivating stillness, cultivating your awareness and your non-reaction. You are now not being controlled by your thoughts. You're not being controlled by what's going on outside you. You're centered, you're calm, you're balanced. Now, part 3 is where the magic happens, and you can actually start incorporating gratitude into your meditation. You start thinking about the ones you love. You start thinking about the people in your life. You start thinking about your gratitude for your current job. You start feeling gratitude for your health. You start feeling gratitude for the connections that you have. You start feeling gratitude for your creativity. Okay, so you can start injecting gratitude into your meditations. And one way that I like to do that is another form of meditation that I call the Love Yourself meditation. So there's a great book that you should definitely check out. It's called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. And it's about a guy who I personally know. He had a business in Silicon Valley. The company went under. He had a relationship that went sour, and he couldn't get out of bed for a month. But what he started to do was starting to tell himself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, or I am love, I am love. And by repeating that into his mind as he was meditating, he completely changed his state of mind, right? So I try to say that to myself 10 times a day. And even as I'm meditating, I try to come from a place of self-love, okay? As you love yourself more, you'll be able to give more love to the world, right? We have to take care of our house first before we can take care of other people's houses. So I think that's super, super important. Another form of that is loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. Okay? So that's another form of meditation, but you're anchoring towards love. You're anchoring towards loving yourself. You're anchoring towards loving awareness. Now, another form of meditation is inner body awareness. Okay? So you focus your attention on your inner body awareness. It's similar to breath meditation, but it's other areas of your body. So what you try to do as you're closing your eyes and you're meditating, you pay attention to the feelings and sensations going on in your body. You might feel tingles on your arm. You might feel like your clothing on your skin. you might just feel the rising and falling of your chest. You know, your chest might get tighter or expand as you breathe, or you might feel it in your gut. But that is a way to become more aware. That is a way to become more mindful. You know, all this is how you can get into the present moment, right? And that's another way that you describe meditation is it's present moment awareness. We're always caught up in the past, thinking about regrets from the past, or we're thinking about anxieties about the future, right? But we miss out on the present moment. So meditation is a form of present moment awareness. Okay, so that's another meditation, and we're going to do a guided meditation here in 1 minute. And one other reminder too is, meditation doesn't always have to be sitting and, in like a Buddha mindset or lotus position. You can do walking meditations, and I love to do walking meditations where I don't bring my phone with me, and I just observe nature, right? And I try to listen to all the sounds that I hear. I hear a car passing by. I hear birds in the trees. I hear the wind blowing. Maybe I hear an insect buzz past me, and I count how many sounds that I hear. And I just try to look. I try to look around as if it's the first time I'm seeing everything around me. Think about that. Walk outside and look outside like it's the first time you've ever seen trees or you've ever seen buildings. And it cultivates that curiosity and that sense of awe and that sense of wonder within ourselves. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So walking meditations are a great form of meditation too. And I'm just going to check the comments real quick here and see if anyone has any questions. And thank you for all the comments. This is great. It really, I appreciate you guys listening to this and enjoying the story and enjoying these reminders. Okay, I don't see any questions just yet, but it looks like Madeleine, you've done meditation before. Lisa, you've done meditation before. Cora, great, you've done meditation. Anastasia, very cool. And Anastasia, it's a great point you make. You've meditated before, but sometimes it's hard to keep the regular practice, right? And my advice to people on that is just to start small. Start small and try to do a 2-minute or a 3-minute guided meditation per day. Maybe you put it in your calendar and 9 a.m. every morning before your workday, you're going to do a 5-minute meditation, right? The more that you practice, like anything else, you're building a muscle, right? You're building a muscle. And if we don't do certain things, the muscles atrophy. So whatever that best way is for you, putting it in your calendar, getting reminders, maybe putting a little Post-it note in front of your mirror to meditate for 2 minutes. Whatever that is, maybe get a accountability partner to help you with that meditation. But I know for certain that once you develop that practice, you're going to feel less stress, more peace of mind in your life. And then all the results outside of your life, relationships, business, income, they're all going to increase as a result of meditation. So, okay, we're going to do a quick guided meditation. I'm going to put on just a little bit of music here, just a little bit of Zen music, and we're just going to do the breath meditation. We're going to do a 2 to 3 minute breath meditation. I will guide it, and we'll be finished here in the next 2-3 minutes, and I'll take any questions at the end as well. So 1 second. Okay. Hope you guys can hear that okay. Okay. So let's close our eyes. Let's try to keep our back straight, but loose. Maybe roll your shoulders round twice. Maybe roll your neck. And let's all take a deep breath in. another deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. Now, I just invite all of you to just observe, to just be awareness. Observe your breath. Feel the coolness of air flowing through your nose. Maybe feel your chest rising and falling with each breath, or your shoulders. And this is your moment. This is your moment for yourself to just be, to connect with your body. You might be thinking thoughts, and that's okay. Just observe. Watch your thoughts and let them go. You might feel sensations in your body. Observe and let them go. With each breath, you are connecting to the present moment. You are connecting to the here and now. And as we connect to the present moment, I invite you to feel gratitude in your heart. Feel grateful for something in your life. Feel connected to a person in your life that you're grateful for. Maybe smile and notice your cheek muscles feel different as you smile. Maybe put your hand on your heart. And really feel that joy, that peace that comes with gratitude. Take another deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in and out. Now at your time, when you feel ready, gently open up your eyes Wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll your shoulders again. Observe the surroundings in your house, in your room, wherever you're at right now, and just notice. And I thank you all for sharing this meditation. And I'll take some questions right here, but that was just, a beautiful experience. I already feel a little bit lighter. I don't know how you feel right now, but I feel a little bit lighter. You cultivated stillness. You cultivated awareness. You connected with the present moment. And then you consciously felt gratitude for your life, for the people in your life. So I'm going to see if there's any questions here. Okay, so again, any tips to make mindfulness a routine? I think I mentioned this before, but schedule. I think part of setting up a routine is having a schedule, right? And looking at your schedule, where can you fit it in? How can you commit to it, right? And then putting that in that schedule. Maybe you can get an accountability partner as well. Now there's a bunch of guided meditation apps too that you can use that are similar to what I just did. The one that I use is the Calm meditation app. So that's CALM, the Calm meditation app. So just a couple of tips there, and see if there's any other questions here. Inez, thank you. I appreciate you being here. And Jupiter, thank you as well for being here. Really means the world. And Claudia, I'm glad that you're going to do the walking meditation. It's really powerful experience, especially if you instill that curiosity of, like, imagine you've seen the world for the first time as you're walking outside. It just creates that curiosity, creates that wonder. It's a portal into the present moment. Lisa, good question. Should we count our breaths? I don't do that, but if that's a way for you to anchor, just to get focused for maybe 5 to 10 breaths, that's okay. But I wouldn't recommend counting your breaths throughout an entire meditation. But maybe, and a great way to just relieve stress very quickly is to take 10 deep breaths, right? If you're feeling frustrated or having some anxiety at work, you go into the bathroom and just give yourself 10 deep breaths and count those out, right? That's a way to relieve stress quickly. But in a guided sitting meditation, Lisa, I would not count breaths. I would maybe just do like 3 or 4 counts just to kind of get my focus on my breath. And then I would try to just observe what's going on in my body and observe my thoughts. And you'll start to practice sharpening that awareness and becoming more detached from your thoughts and your emotions and your sensations. So great question though. Eric, how do you know that meditation is working for you? It's a great question. And again, there's no black belts, right? There's no levels for meditation. It's a great question. And there's no wrong way to meditate. But as you do it more, you're just gonna start to feel something. You're gonna feel lighter. You're gonna feel a sense of less stress. You're gonna feel a sense of ease with the things that you do. It's very interesting. It's like time slows down, right? And you can't, you're not going to be able to see it right away, and you're not going to be able to see it directly too. It's almost like an indirect improvement of your life, right? As you practice meditation, and again, it's a practice, right? It's a practice for real life. It's not like we're supposed to be monks here and sit down for an hour and become like this Zen master. That's not what it's about. It's a practice for everyday life. And you'll just start to see and feel notices and changes in your life where, maybe if, someone that you work with, you have a disagreement, and, someone might have rebutted or bite back at that person. After meditation, after mindfulness, you're not as inclined to do that, right? You can take that step back and you can not react. And by non-reaction, you're actually disarming and diffusing the situation much easier. So, there's a sense of patience, there's a sense of relaxation, there's a sense of awareness that you instill into your everyday life. And again, it's not something that you feel directly after you meditate for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes. It's this indirect feeling that you have in everyday life that that improves. So it's a great question.
Cora had a question about whether mindfulness and meditation are the same thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So Cora, great question. They're very similar, right? Mindfulness, meditation is a practice to build your mindfulness. Meditation is the actual practice of awareness, right? Where mindfulness is kind of like, mindfulness is how to live mindfully, how to live with more clarity, how to live in the present moment, how to be detached from your thoughts and your emotions, right? So meditation is a practice to build mindfulness. But it's a great question. So as you meditate more, you become more mindful. You're practicing mindfulness through meditation. Just like, if you're practicing sales, you're on sales trainings to practice how to sell better, right? So meditation is the practice to become more mindful. Great question. See if there's any others here. All right, guys. Well, I'll wrap this up. This was awesome. Thank you all for joining again. Anastasia, thank you so much for putting this together. Really appreciate you and Healing Hands. You're great, and everyone was so friendly and so supportive in the comments. So thank all of you, and excited to do this again.